The battle of electric car companies is officially on. We say that because for years it was felt that Tesla, who helped bring this battle to bear, was the only real company doing anything with electric cars. And even then, they were felt to never make a profit. Now, they're selling their cars like hotcakes, and other companies are trying to catch up. Not just by making good electric cars, but by trying to revolutionize them before Tesla can. Again. Toyota is a major competitor on that front because they're trying to make a new battery to help their cars along. Allow us to show you the Tesla's new 4680 battery versus Toyota's solid-state battery. Tesla's new 4680 battery. Battery technology is constantly evolving, and the latest advancement comes from Panasonic, which revealed a prototype of its new 4680 battery cell. Automotive News reports that the advanced technology battery is due to power future Teslas, saying the 4680 batteries will have 5 times the storage capacity of current Tesla battery packs and will cost 50% less to build, which, no matter what way you look at it, it's a big deal. This is the first time Panasonic has unveiled the 4680 battery. Tesla's earnings report issued earlier in October said it was testing battery packs using the 4680 cells. Panasonic constructed a test line for the new format earlier this year. 4680 refers to the battery's dimensions: 46 mm, 1.6 inches wide by 80 mm, 3.1 inches tall. Tesla claims that there will be a 100-fold increase in battery production by 2030 thanks to the new battery type, and that the new cell design produces 6 times the power of current cells. Tesla is one of the only automakers using cylindrical cells, and the additional energy capacity of the new 4680 cell isn't magic. It's simply a lot larger than the current ones Tesla employs. On a purely volume basis, the 4680 is 5.5 times larger than the 2170 cells currently used in the Model 3 and Y battery packs, and 8 times larger than the 18650 cells used in the Model S and X. The 18650 is slightly larger than a typical AA battery. The head of Panasonic's battery operations, Kazuo Tadanobu, said at the meeting, "We have developed this because of the strong desire of the other party, and we think this can only lead to stronger ties." Panasonic has a battery manufacturing plant in Nevada supplying the Tesla Gigafactory. According to Electric, Tesla claims the first vehicles with the 4680 battery cells will be delivered next year. Tadanobu also said that Panasonic does not intend to build cheaper lithium iron phosphate LFP batteries for standard-range Teslas, even though Tesla's report said the company plans to start using those in its standard-range vehicles worldwide. Along with building the 4680 batteries for Tesla, Panasonic will also supply batteries to American electric startup Canoo, which recently announced an agreement with the Japanese Electronics Corporation. The batteries will power the lifestyle vehicle that Canoo predicts will begin production in the fourth quarter of 2022, with Dutch contractor VDL Nedcar building the van-like vehicle for the European and American markets. Canoo said they chose the Panasonic batteries, which will not be the Tesla-specific 4680 format, for their proven reliability. Canoo is claiming a range of 250 miles from an 80 kilowatt-hour battery, with the base panel van version starting at $34,750. The competition speaks. Tesla bets on a new 4680-type cylindrical cell format, changing the game. But, according to Lucid's CEO/CTO Peter Rawlinson, it will not be this huge breakthrough. In an interesting IEEE Spectrum article, Peter Rawlinson noted that the larger format and new design has some advantages, including reduced internal resistance and higher volumetric energy density. But it's better packaging rather than a breakthrough chemistry. But even that 4680 appears a triumph of packaging, not of chemistry, with its tightly packed jelly rolls that allow more active cell material versus its surrounding casing. "I do think there's an upside to going to large format," he says. That would reduce internal resistance, and that's a valuable step forward. But people are looking at 4680 as this huge breakthrough, and that's not a fantasy. However, according to Tesla, the 4680 type and structural battery pack will allow it to increase capacity/range by 30%, 16% from cell design and 14% from vehicle integration, without a new chemistry. So yeah, who's in the right here? Well, as in many things, we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes. Because the big thing for companies like Tesla and Lucid is to have the best batteries around so that they can go and not just make better cars, but cheaper cars. If these batteries are able to help increase range and be cheaper to make, that'll lower the price of the car. And that is why so many, like Lucid, might be trying to talk down this potential revolutionary battery, because they know it'll spell trouble for the competition. But that doesn't mean that the competition isn't trying something themselves. Toyota's solid-state battery. Toyota announced it was bringing a breakthrough battery technology to market. The bipolar nickel metal hydrate battery in the Japanese market, Toyota Aqua, a relative of the Prius C we used to get. It's worth mentioning because even though Toyota spent a lot of time in a recent presentation outlining its solid-state battery investments, which we'll cover in a second, the historically conservative automaker is hedging its bets, looking for incremental improvements and investing heavily in older technology as well. After all, nickel metal hydrate isn't state-of-the-art like solid-state batteries are, but the bipolar battery shows that it's worthwhile to invest in proven, economical alternatives to the next greatest thing. That's not to say the actual meat of the news here about solid-state batteries isn't worthwhile. It just puts it in the context of the broader Toyota battery development program. Toyota announced a $13.6 billion investment in battery technology, including, but not limited to, solid-state batteries, spread out between research and development and production equipment. After all, Toyota has a long-standing policy of keeping battery development and production in-house, though utilizing partners like Panasonic, and its solid-state battery tech is no exception. If you need a refresher on why the solid-state battery is so important, potentially a game-changer in the EV space, we got your back. Imagine an electric car battery that provides more than 300 miles of range, charges in approximately 10 minutes, requires no bulky heating and cooling systems, maintains 80% of its charge capacity for 800 cycles, about 240,000 miles, and isn't prone to spontaneous combustion. Such is the promise of the solid-state car battery, a holy grail that automakers and manufacturers are racing to find, including Toyota, obviously. But there are kinks to iron it out. The solid electrolyte material surrounding the battery cells has, in Toyota's testing regimen, developed gaps that affect battery performance and service life when utilized in battery electric vehicles, BEVs. That's why, at least initially, Toyota will implement the tech in hybrids, HEVs, where the issue is less of a concern, while simultaneously developing it further for BEVs down the road. Before you yawn and click the back button on your browser, consider the implications of this technology. Range and charge times are the biggest barriers to EV adoption, and while a 10-minute charge is still quite a bit longer than it takes to fill a gas tank with liquid fuel, it's a lot better than having to make lunch plans while your car recharges. A compact, fast-charging battery could be the EV equivalent of the electric starter, as it would allow battery-powered electric cars to conquer internal combustion power once and for all. And to be honest, that's something that every electric car company wants, especially ones like Tesla, who have been trying to shift people's way of thinking for nearly 2 decades on this matter. The race for the better battery. If you were to point out the 2 major problems with EVs right now, it would be the price and the battery. Even cheap EVs aren't cheap, and that's one major thing that Tesla, in particular, is working on. The other thing is the battery. While the battery is better than the gas engine in various ways, the rechargeability and the fact that you could be in the middle of nowhere when you need a recharge is a problem for every EV company out there. That's why all of these companies, including Tesla and Toyota, are working hard to try and make a battery that can do more, go more, cost less, and take a fraction of the time to recharge. Should this kind of battery be made, it would literally change the game for the better. Because once one company figures it out, the others could as well, especially if they share the technology. The more electric vehicles that are on the road, the less negative impact the emissions of cars will have on the world. And that's something every EV company should be shooting for. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at the two major batteries that are looking to power two major electric car companies? Do you think one of these will indeed be able to go and change things in terms of both production and performance? Or do you think there might be another option that could give one of these companies an edge? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.